Old gen versus new gen, prime versus prime. Who wins? As some of you would have seen a while ago, I dropped some short little clips of me doing the old gen versus the new gen, prime versus prime, who would win with certain fighters. Obviously, I saw the post online from a page called Clipped Fighting. I don't follow them, but I see their stuff pop up on my timeline quite a bit. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a more detailed breakdown of the old gen versus the new gen. And it's going to be very interesting. Some of you were talking shit in the comments on the short clips I dropped. But now we're going to give you guys an in-detailed breakdown. As you can see, we've got Dominic Cruz and Daniel Cormier in the first slide. Don't pay attention to them guys because, yeah, they wouldn't fight each other. But anyways, let's get into the video. Let's start off with Demetrious Johnson versus Alexandre Pantoja. Cool. I'm not going to lie. If you compare the resumes, Pantoja's resume is quite good. And some people will argue that it's better than Demetrious Johnson's resume. But listen, Demetrious Johnson has how many title defenses? Alexandre Pantoja has a lot to catch up to. And I don't know if we will ever see a more dominant era than that era with the likes of Demetrious Johnson and John Jones. You know, I feel like it's very hard to emulate these sort of things, especially in this day and age where people just aren't as hungry. But obviously Pantoja, he's very hungry and he wants to keep competing and proving that he's the best in the world. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, yeah. Alexandre Pantoja is a great fighter. And to be completely honest, like, he has gotten a lot better in terms of his striking. So I'll give him that. But I just feel like Demetrious Johnson's IQ is levels above Alexandre Pantoja. And I do think Demetrious Johnson, as much as the IQ, what's the word I'm looking for? He's one of those guys, he'll be creative. He would think outside of the box and do things. Like, look how he got the flying armbar, man. Come on, man. Like, people wouldn't think to try that. Someone like me, I would think to try that. Like, I feel like I'm quite creative. I think outside the box. Well, I try to. And for those reasons, I do feel like Demetrious Johnson would get the win over Alexandre Pantoja. Maybe it would be a decision. But, you know, I do think Demetrious Johnson is the better fighter. I do think Demetrious Johnson has more power. The only thing Pantoja really has that I think would cause Mighty Mouse a problem is obviously the ground stuff. But I do, honestly, guys, I do think Mighty Mouse gets the win, man. I just feel like his IQ is better. His fighting style is better. Listen, the way, like, even when you hear Mighty Mouse break down fights, yeah, the way he understands fighting, I don't think a lot of guys will understand that. And you see, when you have guys like that, like John Jones, Demetrious Johnson, I just feel like they're levels ahead of everyone. They do a lot of film study as well, so they break down sequences. So I just think for the pure fact of IQ, even in the positions where Pantoja will be dangerous, I feel like Demetrious just has the IQ, because it's like John Jones. He was never really the most powerful guy, but his IQ was very good. He was able to use his IQ and film study and take that into fights and, you know, beat the best guys. So I know people will say, oh, what, you're basing it just on IQ? Yes, I am. Yes, I am, guys. Because if we look at everything else, like their characteristics, they're quite similar. But I would still give the advantage to Demetrious. The only thing Pantoja really has over Demetrious Johnson is, if anything, is the resume. Because his resume so far is quite... It's hard to argue, man. It's like Merab, man. Like Merab's... Yeah, man. It is hard to argue, man. It's like when their resumes are what they are. But I gotta give it to Demetrius Johnson, man. Man like Mighty Mouse. So I'm picking Mighty Mouse to win that one. Next up, we got Dominic Cruz versus Merab Dvalishvili. I think initially I picked Dominic Cruz. But the thing is, guys, yeah, Dominic Cruz can actually grapple and wrestle. So it would be interesting to see that fight. But, you know, I saw Dominic Cruz get pieced up by Cody. And Cody has never been the same really since. So, you know, and I don't think Cody would do that to Merab. So, you know, I'm going to have to go with Merab, guys. Like, don't get me wrong, Dominic Cruz, he's a G for what he was able to achieve. Very good fighter. Very good style. Even his striking style was very good. But I just think, you see the style Merab has, I think he beats most guys. Just that relentless takedown pressure and just being in your face, constantly taking you down. I do think it would wear on a lot of guys. And you see, the thing is with Merab, he has no problem with being on the front foot because he has one thing in his mind, and that is to take you down. So with that being said, I do think Merab would beat Dominic Cruz just for the sheer constant takedowns, man. Like, that is a lot to deal with. And even Dominic Cruz, if these guys were ever to fight, Dominic Cruz is definitely the better striker out of the two. But what tends to happen with a lot of good strikers is when they meet guys like Merab that can constantly take you down, they can't even get their strikes off, and they don't even feel confident in letting their hands go or their feet go because they're worried about that constant threat of the takedown. So I do think Merab's, listen, his nickname, it makes sense why they call him Merab the Machine. He's actually a machine. And if you look at their resumes as well, it kind of clears Dominic's, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, he's beat quite a few guys. Like, he's beat Sean O'Malley twice, Peter Yan, Umar Nurmagomedov, Henry Cejudo. I can't remember all the names in my head. But I'm not going to lie, he's cleaning out that division. So, you know, I'm going to give it to Merab. Like, and I wasn't even the biggest fan of him before. I'm still not the biggest fan of him. But listen, game has to respect game. And listen, he's a game opponent. So I'm picking Merab. I think Merab would win that one. I just think his style is kryptonite to a lot of people's style. And obviously there is ways to beat that. And I do think Dominic, in my opinion, would do way better than someone like Sean O'Malley in terms of the wrestling situations. I even thought Umar would do better against Merab. But Merab, he's good, man. So I'm picking Merab to win that one. Next up, we got the Notorious MMA versus El Matador. Conor McGregor versus Ilia Topuria. Guys. This is an interesting one because even in the comments, you guys might be able to see some of the comments. And everybody's picking Topuria. Every single person's picking Topuria. And even when I made my shorts video, everyone was saying, how are you picking McGregor? Listen, guys. You see this matchup, you know, out of all the matchups, this is one that I can confidently break down and say what I think would happen because I've studied both styles. Compared to any other fighters in the UFC, these two are the guys that I've studied very, very, very well. Very well. Like, literally watch the way they throw their punches, the way they throw their kicks, how they get into space, where they do their best work. Like, I've studied these guys, especially McGregor. Ilia, I'm still studying him because, you know, he came on to my radar maybe about 2 years ago now. So, you know, yeah. McGregor versus Ilia Topuria. Guys, their careers are quite similar. Very, very similar. But, guys, Ilia Topuria is a very, very good mixed martial artist. He's very well-rounded, and his ground game is better than Conor's. Well, from what we've seen. because I don't think we've really seen Ilya tested on the ground. Ilya has very good hands, sharp hands, good boxer. But if we're talking striking in MMA, actual striking in MMA, Conor McGregor is a better striker than Ilia Topuria. If we're talking just hands, boxing, I would say Ilia Topuria is better than McGregor. But if we take them and put them in the cage, guys, what people need to understand is, yeah, like I said, I've studied both guys. Ilia Topuria likes to come forward. He likes to pressure his fighters. And I'm not going to lie, I get why he does it, because I've been doing it a little bit in sparring, and it actually works. But Conor McGregor was a master at using your pressure and aggression against you. And the fluidity of McGregor's shots and just how lucid he was with his shots, like even the way he, look what he did to Eddie Alvarez. He threw the jab with his hips going backwards to give the illusion of the range that Eddie was in good range. Like, you don't see that. Like, you see the way McGregor was so lucid and fluid with his shots. You don't really see that in MMA. Like, it was very, very clean. Like, even the way he would slip punch, step back with a slip punches, come back with a counter right hand. The way he would create his shots from different angles is actually crazy when you think about it. And he was so loose and fluid. And like I said, guys, McGregor was the best. Even till this day, he was the best at using your pressure and aggression against you. So for that reason, and even, all right, cool. Look, even let's talk, if we want to talk about the striking as well, the leg kicks, Conor McGregor's leg kicks, much better. He throws spinning back kicks, all of that sort of stuff, spinning heel kicks. So when we're talking about striking, McGregor is the better striker. If we're talking an all-round mixed martial artist, I would understand why people are leaning more towards Ilia Topuria. But I'm not being funny. If we're looking at what he done, how he did it, and we compare the two fighting styles, I honestly think Conor McGregor's fighting style is kryptonite for Ilia Topuria. I know Ilia Topuria has very good boxing. Although, what I will say is this. If Ilia Topuria was to land on Conor McGregor, but in their prime, I'm not going to lie, McGregor, no one was really testing that chin. Same as Ilia, though. His chin ain't really been tested except for Jai Herbert. So, you know, and you know what? McGregor probably could finish him. But then again, if Ilia was to land, it could potentially hurt McGregor. But honestly, guys, because I've studied both styles, and I just think McGregor's a master at using your pressure and aggression against you, I'm going to have to go with McGregor. I think he wins that one all day long. Like I said, if Ilia Topuria was to land, it could be a long day. But with Conor McGregor in his prime, so fluid, lucid, loose. And yeah, honestly, I don't think we will ever see... The closest thing we get to that is Mauricio Huffy, or however you say his name, from the Fighting Nerds. But even that is still not the same, man. Like, so yeah, I'm picking Conor McGregor. I think Conor McGregor beats Ilia Topuria. I know that's going to cause some uproar in the comments, but I don't really give a shit. But yeah, let's okay, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Islam Makhachev. Guys, this is going to be another controversial one. I'm glad I've seen someone in the comments has picked Islam, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I know people are up Khabib's bum and they're going to say, yeah, Khabib wins, but this is not wrestling. This is MMA. Like, if we look at MMA, Islam Makhachev, and I've been saying this for years now, and I don't give a shit what anybody says in the comments. You guys can say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, this, that, and the other. All of you guys can suck my dick. Because Islam Makhachev is a way better mixed martial artist than Khabib Nurmagomedov. Key words. Much better mixed martial artist. Yeah? Not wrestler, mixed. Listen carefully, guys. The ones in the back that are still going to chat shit. Better mixed martial artist. Khabib was a good wrestler. If we look at his striking, very sus. Obviously, we know what Khabib would do. He would take Islam down and, wrestle. Obviously, I don't know if Islam would be able to deal with that. But if he is, he beats Khabib. I'm sorry. It's not even a debate. If we look at the resumes, Islam's resume is already better than Khabib's, been better than Khabib's. And if we look at the two fighting styles, Islam is actually a better fighter than Khabib. Obviously, like I said, if Khabib takes Islam down, can Islam get back up? That's the big question. That's what everyone would want to know. But if we actually look at it from an all-round fighting style, Islam is the better fighter. I don't think I can give a actual pick on who I think would win. But if we're just talking old gen versus new gen and prime for prime, and we're looking at their resumes and what they've done, I can't lie, I lean more towards Islam. So I think I'm going to pick Islam to win. I just think, yeah, you know what? This is what I will say, yeah. Because Islam can wrestle, that might open up more opportunities for him to find a finish on the feet. Imagine if he was to land a head kick on Khabib. Ah, brother, you smashed me with head kick. We meant to be brothers. So I'm gonna go Islam, man. I know that's gonna cause some uproar in the comments, but honestly, guys, I don't give a shit. Like, Islam is the more well-rounded mixed martial artist. Like, and it's not even a debate. Anyone that wants to argue that doesn't know a thing about mixed martial arts. And I'm sure even the best of the best in the world would agree with what I'm saying. Because if you think Khabib is a better mixed martial artist than Islam, you need to get your eyes tested. Again, he is a better wrestler, but like look at it from this point of view. He lost the round to Conor McGregor when they fought, yeah. Obviously, listen, Khabib was probably always going to win that fight, but that version of McGregor was on the way to the version of McGregor we have now. Like, look at him in the press conference. He was all getting drunk and that, like. And that version of McGregor was still able to beat you for one round. So, I do think think about how much better of a mixed martial artist Islam is than Conor McGregor. So, with that being said, I do think Islam would find opportunities on the feet. Even if he didn't finish Khabib, I think he could get a points decision just because he doesn't have to worry about the threat of the takedown. He knows he can wrestle. He knows he can probably stuff some takedowns. So that's who I'm picking. I'm picking Islam Makhachev. But that's the end of the video, guys. I'm going to do a part 2. Look out for part 2. It's going to be out shortly. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep commenting. But guys, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Let's see if we can get to 500 subscribers before the end of the year. I'm going to keep banging out this content for you guys. Hit my DMs on Instagram with whatever sort of videos you want to see, etc, etc. But again, guys, it's Big Yems. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys again tomorrow, man.